Hey, what's up everybody? It's the People's Crypto. I'm back again with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and how he wants more inflation. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons of inflation and why this is actually a very good thing for Bitcoin, gold, and silver. Please keep in mind that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research and please seek out a financial advisor before making any investments. All right, so on Thursday, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell basically indicated they are going to move forward and they want more inflation, and this is supposedly a good thing. All right, so there's a video here from Investopedia, and I'm going to play this for you. And this supposedly is supposed to tell us why inflation is good. And then I'm going to go into the negatives.
How can inflation be good for the economy? Inflation is a function of the supply and demand of money. Producing more dollars makes each dollar less valuable, thus causing prices to rise. But inflation has its benefits. An economy running below capacity has unused labor and resources that could increase production. More dollars translates into more spending, which leads to more aggregated demand. Higher demand triggers more production. British economist John Maynard Keynes said some inflation was necessary to prevent the paradox of thrift. If prices fall because the country is too productive, consumers will wait for a better deal before they buy goods. Aggregate demand falls, leading to less production, layoffs, and a stumbling economy. Inflation also helps debtors who repay loans with money that's less valuable than the money they borrowed. This encourages borrowing and lending and increases spending. Inflation cushions the blow for the U.S. government, the world's largest debtor.
Okay, there we have it. That's the pros, supposedly, of inflation. Now, let's go into the cons. So, Investopedia is so nice that they listed all of the cons for us. I'm just going to go by each particular list. I'm not going to read everything, of course. I will include the link to this particular article in the links below, in the description, excuse me. All right, so the first one is it erodes purchasing power. And yes, that is probably one of the biggest problems. What we'll probably see is the cost of many items, food, gas, clothing, electronics. These things will probably be more expensive now. So whatever you're getting paid, you're going to have to dish out more money to purchase these goods. Now that sucks if you're looking to go shopping and buy some things, or if you're going food shopping, that's going to just completely suck, and you're going to be, unfortunately, you're going to have to spend a lot more money to get the same items you're probably currently purchasing. So that's going to suck. And it encourages spending and investing. All right, so here it says a predictable response to declining purchasing power is to buy now rather than later. Cash will only lose value, so it's better to get your shopping out the way and stock up on things that will probably lose value. Yes, but that's a completely, to me, that's a completely negative thing, because it's like inflation discourages spending. I mean, not spending, it discourages saving, because if you're saving money and everything costs more money, then you're kind of losing in that department. So not necessarily a great thing to have. So it sucks. So if you're trying to save money, you won't be able to. And three, it causes more inflation. Well, yes, it causes more inflation. More inflation meaning the cost of goods and services will go up further. So whatever you're trying to save, guess what? You can't really save that money, because you have to purchase, you got to dish out more money to purchase things, services and good. Like, it's insane. And this is what the Federal Reserve Chair wants. This gives you a chart in inflation in Weimar, Germany. Look at that. From August 1st, 1923, September 1st, 1923, October 1st, 1923, November 1st, 1923, and then look at this. And then December 1923. Basically, this is the death of the dollar. Like, it's completely over. Like, they're going to have to implement this digital dollar, and it seems like what they want is to destroy the fiat version of the dollar, because this makes absolutely no sense. Like, why would they really want to do this? So there's another article. I'm going to include this in the link below. Fortunately, I didn't pull it up, but there's an article where MIT is working with the Federal Reserve to create this digital dollar. So that's in the works. So I think it's a little too convenient that they want more inflation, which causes more inflation, which will take money away from the American people. They won't be able to save. So yes, people will be spending more money, obviously, but they won't be getting more things. You'll be getting less things and paying more for products and services. It's actually pretty stupid, but this is what they want, because, you know, we're supposed to have this great reset, according to the World Economic Forum, which I've mentioned numerous amount of times. If you have not went to the World Economic Forum's The Great Reset website, I will include the link to that in the description below. But this is insane. So it says it raises the cost of borrowing. This is like really frustrating. I cannot even lie to you. So I'll put it to you this way. If you're not buying gold, silver, or Bitcoin, or any other cryptocurrency that has a particular good use case, you are going to lose not only your wealth, but you will lose your livelihood. You will lose in this current decade. You're going to lose. That's what they want. They want you to be a loser. And it sucks. It sounds crazy. You could even say maybe it's conspiratorial to a certain degree. But this is what they want. They want people to become poor. That has to be it. This makes absolutely no sense to me. They want all of us to be poor. And with that, I'm assuming what they would want afterwards is they would want people to be dependent on the government, because they're still not dishing out another stimulus check. There's some back and forth on that, and I guess people in Congress went on vacation, which was, how convenient is that? Good for them, I guess. That just shows you they really care about the American people. So there's that. So it's like, okay, people are not getting stimulus checks, or they're not getting any type of assistance or help. I think unemployment here in the United States is about 50 million, and it's kind of climbing. A million a week. I think more people are filing for unemployment. And yet they want more inflation. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. This is a controlled demolition. It's so obvious now. They want to crash the system. We don't know whenever that's going to happen, but it's going to happen sooner or later. They're going to crash the system, and I think what they want is the digital dollar to be implemented. That'll be the next step. Once that's implemented, then I think they'll give UBI, Universal Basic Income. And with that, I think for anyone who accepts it or takes it, if let's say the people that accept the UBI, they don't have gold, silver, or Bitcoin or anything hedging against this current collapse that's going to happen, they'll be at the mercy of the government. So if you say anything outlandish, or if you say anything speaking out against the government, they could potentially cut you off. So you have that to keep in mind. But yeah, let's continue. What else does it say? It says it lowers the cost of borrowing. Okay. interestingly enough, Capital One, I'm gonna find a link for this particular article, but Capital One has actually started to reduce people's credit card limits. So let's say if you have $5,000, they have now reduced that to maybe $1,500. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to cover their bases because they know that there's kind of like turmoil right now with a lot of people being unemployed. No stimulus checks are being produced. So more people are more likely to actually take out and spend on their credit card. So what they're trying to do to avoid any delinquencies or any issues in the future, they decided to cut a lot of people's credit limits. So you go from 5,000 to 1,500. Or if you have 10,000, you go from that to about maybe 2,500. They're doing it to that extreme. So that just shows you something is wrong and something is very bad. So I don't know about this whole entire lowers the cost of borrowing when they're, at least the credits, the banks are already slashing the credit limits. So, and they say it reduces unemployment. And then it says there's some evidence that inflation can push down unemployment. Wages tend to be sticky, meaning that they can slowly I'm getting tongue-tied here. Meaning that they can, there I go again. Meaning that they change slowly in response to economic shifts. John Maynard Keyes theorized that the Great Depression resulted in part from wages downward stickiness. Unemployment surged because workers resisted pay cuts and were fired instead. The ultimate pay cut. We already have a bunch of unemployment right now, so I don't think that's gonna work in terms of reducing unemployment. Especially considering you have so many corporations going bankrupt and they can't make money. So, I mean, let's just see how this thing plays out. It said it increases growth unless there's an attentive central bank on hand to push up interest rates. Inflation discourages savings. Duh. Since the purchasing power of deposits erodes over time, that prospects gives consumers and businesses an incentive to spend or invest. Okay, so the stock market is propped up like crazy right now. If people were going to invest, it probably would make sense to buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. To put your money in the stock market now, it's kind of like gambling. There's that. Then 8, it says reduces employment and growth. So there's that. Yeah, this is going to be really bad. And then you have weakens or strengthens currency. It says high inflation is usually associated with a slumping exchange rate, though this is generally a cause of the weaker currency leading to inflation, not the other way around. Economies that import significant amount of goods and services, which for now is just about every economy, must pay more for these imports in local currency terms when the currencies fall against those of the trading partners. Say that countries X currency falls 10% against countries Y's. The latter doesn't have to raise the price of the products it exports to country X's for them to cost country X 10% more. The weaker exchange rate alone has that effect. Multiple cost increases across enough trading partners selling enough products, and the result is economy-wide inflation in currency X. Let's see what 10 is. Oh, I thought there was a 10. But there's that. But yeah, so they want more inflation. That means if you're putting money in your bank account, they're basically going to be, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get any interest. You're just going to be more inclined to take out that money and spend it, because the cost of goods, services is going to just go up. And it sucks because, let's say, and I've said this before, if you make $70,000 or $80,000 or $90,000, whatever amount of money you make, if you make any significant amount of money, and remember, they're still doing quantitative easing, that's just going to cause even more inflation. So they're doing QE, and they're just going to take away from what you're making yearly. So they want more than 2% inflation year over year. So your 70,000 will probably be, really, in reality, especially after taxes and all that, you're probably looking at maybe 35,000. Your 80,000, you're probably looking at maybe 40,000. Your 90,000, you're probably maybe looking at 50, 45, something like that, depending on what state or wherever you're located, depending on what state and city you live in. If you live in New York, forget about it. It's just over for you, because it's already expensive here. But this is what they want. This makes absolutely no sense to me, but it does make sense in terms of, if they're wanting to destroy the dollar, this is the way to do it. And they're going to create more inflation. The prices of goods and services is going to go incredibly high. Food, shelter, you name it, it's just going to be ridiculous. Supposedly they believe this is a good thing, but it's really not. If you're making, I think, if you're a millionaire, if you make 20, 40, 50 million, you'll be fine. You may see hike in prices, but you'll be able to dish out the extra dollars for it. And also, most of those people who do have millions of dollars, they have wealth advisors. So they'll be buying up Bitcoin and all that other stuff, because Fidelity is only allowing institutional investors and accredited investors. So these people who have millions, they'll be hoarding Bitcoin, and they'll be prepping before the Great Reset. So they'll be doing that now. This is ridiculous. It sucks. It's unfortunate. But this is why I consistently say, if you don't like Bitcoin, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we live in a digital world, and everything will be going digital. This is why I say it's important. If you don't like Bitcoin, cool. Get gold or silver. If you can afford it, get it. If you can't, then you might want to take a look into Bitcoin. You can easily dollar cost average and get yourself some Satoshis. There's options, there's choices, and the biggest choice you will perhaps make in your lifetime is, do you want to put your money in a bank where, it's going to lose its value even faster now. So this is really promoting cryptocurrencies, and it's promoting gold and silver. Like, that's really what this is. If you haven't really gotten that clue yet, this is supporting getting your money out of the system. If you do not get your money out of the system, I hate to tell you, you'll be destitute. You're not going to have anything in the future, because that's what they're ensuring now. They're making sure that they leave people behind. And, with all of the things that's going on with the public health scare, with, the violence happening around globally, it's not just a local thing here in the States. It's actually happening in almost every country. Violence has skyrocketed because of the whole lockdown thing. Now that's the result of it. And also, unemployment is ridiculous, and it's not just here. It's occurring globally too. So with all of these things that's going on, it's insane that they would come out and say, yeah, we want more inflation. This does not bode well for the people living in this country, and it doesn't bode well for other countries as well. Like, this is just straight up insane. But it makes sense because they've told us, and they do this all the time. They tell us what's coming. They want a reset. And in order for them to get that reset, they must collapse fiat currencies. I've showed you previously that Economist magazine from January 1988. They want a digital dollar. They want a digital pound. They want a digital euro. They want a digital yuan. That is all in the playbook. So pay attention. If you want your sovereignty, you get yourself some gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Not investment advice, but it probably would make sense to get all three just to be on the safe side. And the reason why I say that is because with Bitcoin, you can transact through the internet at any particular point in time, any place. It is relatively easy. The issues with gold and silver is transportation. And I've said that so many times. If you're trying to get this stuff on a plane and you have a ton of it, good luck, because they will probably confiscate it. If you're trying to get a ton of it through a border, good luck, because they will probably confiscate it. Maybe you could carry a couple, but then you also have to keep in mind that I think you're not allowed to travel with more than, I think, $10,000 worth of currencies. So if you have $10,000 worth of gold and silver, I don't know how you would get that across the border. They may confiscate it, they may not, but if you have a ton of this stuff, they may think you're smuggling and doing some sort of trafficking, drug trafficking or whatever. But it's just weird. But the dollar is basically doomed. They've ensured that in the future it's going to crash. We don't know when. I've been hearing so many different things that something's supposed to happen in September or October, or basically the last couple months of this year. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if the stock market is going to crash. I don't know if Bitcoin's going to hit 50,000. I just completely do not know. Everyone is saying their particular predictions of what may happen. I'm pretty sure you're seeing that on YouTube or LBRY or wherever, but that's what's being said. That's what we're hearing, or what I'm hearing at least. But what I can tell you is prepare. And yes, you probably should look into purchasing some goods, some food, some water, some non-perishable items now, because this inflation thing is going to happen relatively soon, and what you may be able to purchase today, that may very well change a couple months from now. So you've been warned, and good luck to all of you. Let's take a look at the current cryptocurrency prices. All right, so the market is up, but we're still down from our $12,000. So Bitcoin is $11,525.49. Ethereum is $403.78. XRP is 28 cents. Tether is $1 as usual. Chainlink is going back up. It's $16.69. Polkadot is in the 6th slot. It is $637. Bitcoin Cash is $269.99. Litecoin is $57.35. Bitcoin SV is 109. It's $190.37. Binance Coin is $23.15. Cardano is 12 cents. EOS is $3.15. Tezos is $3.35. Stellar is 9 cents. Cosmos is $7.39. Tron is 2 cents. Monero is $92.91. Neo is $21.51. Leo is $1.27. Nem is 13 cents. Could have sworn another coin was there. But anywho, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're listening to this video on YouTube. If you're listening on LBRY, please share the video, follow. You can also leave me a tip. And speaking of tips, someone left me a generous Bitcoin donation, and I will say thank you. I don't know who you are, but I will shout you out if you tell me who you are, or if not, then thank you. It doesn't really matter, but thank you anyway. I highly appreciate it, and that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys and gals next time.